everywhere in your confidential space can get one of these test kits, whether using the oral mucosa transudate or taking blood like the malaria RDT, drop, put the buffer, you can be able to know your HIV status. And once you test, you can either be reactive or negative. If you are negative, you must stay negative. If you are reactive, it doesn't mean that you are positive. You have to go to the nearest health facility and be confirmed. We have a whole protocol for that. And so this is empowerment to you all, and I encourage all of you to embrace it. Take advantage to know your status. Once you have a risk perception, exposure, or anything of any sort, I encourage you not to use it against people. Don't take the test and go and impose it on people. It is an autonomy we are giving to individuals. So the individual has the right to embark on this test. And this individual must maintain that right. So it is confidential and it's voluntary. But I urge all of us to take advantage, spread the message and spread the kits, and encourage the person in your family, in your workplace, to know their status, because today nobody must walk in the dark as far as HIV is concerned, because there is treatment, and when you take your medications, it's a life-saving medication, and you can survive and contribute to the Ghana agenda. Thank you very much.
Director General of Ghana Health Service, Dr. Patrick Kumar Abwaji, members of the National Planning Committee for the launch of HIV self-testing in Ghana, rep from the Office of the President, representative of the World Health Organization, rep of the United States Agency for International Development, representative of the Joint United Nations Programs on HIV and AIDS, rep of the Pharmaceutical Society of Ghana, regional, metropolitan, municipal and district directors of health, distinguished invited guests, the media, ladies and gentlemen. As the city of Accra hosts this milestone national event in the fight against HIV/AIDS pandemic, I feel honored and extremely excited to warmly welcome you all to the national launch of HIV self-testing under the auspices of the Ghana Health Services and Ghana HIV and AIDS Network, Global Fund and partners. I extend a special welcome to our hard-working Minister of Health, Honorable Kweku Agyeman-Manu, for his visionary leadership and commitment to the health and well-being of our nation. Mr. Chairman, an event of such nature requires great deal of effort and intense planning. Therefore, I wish to commend the National Planning Committee for making this event possible. Indeed, the presence of high-profile stakeholders concerned with the health sector at this function gives credence to the overall importance of this event, which has the sole objective of reaching out to the underserved population in our ongoing and collective efforts to combat HIV/AIDS pandemic in Ghana.
Not to focus on the current situation of HIV and AIDS in my presentation, as we plan to do a national dissemination in a few days. First of all, I want to thank the Ghana Health Service, the National AIDS and STI Control Program, GANET, our development partners, and all stakeholders for working assiduously for us to launch HIV self-testing today in Ghana after the policy on self-testing was adopted and piloted over a couple of years ago. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we are here today to introduce an important innovation to help address a critical issue that continues to challenge our national progress towards the elimination of HIV and AIDS, which is case detection. Like other countries of the global community, Ghana is expected to achieve the 95-95 targets by the end of 2025. By these targets, Ghana is supposed to first diagnose 95% of all HIV-positive individuals. 2, provide antiretroviral therapy for 95% of those diagnosed. And 3, achieve viral suppression for 95% of those who are on treatment.
This is a manual. This is a manual that will guide you for the HIV self-testing. And in this, we have a tube that contains a liquid. And then this is a self-testing kit itself that I'm about to move out. This is a tube. And before you continue, there's a stand here whereby you position the tube on it. It goes like this. And then you slide it a little bit so that you can get your result accurate. And then you move the top of the tube. And then you come to the kit itself. And then you open it. This is how the kit looks like. Before you continue, you should make sure that your hand does not touch the mouth of the kit. If not, it will give you an invalid result. So we're going on. And then same on the kit too as well. We have C and T. The C is non-reactive. The T is reactive. But when the signal falls on C and T, is also reactive. Yes. So let me try this and we move on. Then I'll get to the next thing. You swap. You swap on your up down. And then your lower down. Let me go deep down. And after that, you place it straight into the tube where the liquid is. And then you wait for 20 minutes to check your result. If it goes beyond 20 minutes, it will give you an invalid result. Yes. And with this, after the reading, you wait for 20 minutes. After the reading, you still pick it up. And then you check whether your reading is on C. If it's on C, it's non-reactive. If it's on T, it's also non-reactive. But if it's on CT, it's reactive. And if it's on T, it's also reactive. You have to refer the person to the nearest health facility for a confirmatory test.
That are released by a gun. And so that those antibodies will move up and go and meet with whatever thing that is put there for the reaction to occur. And once the reaction occurs, the thing turns into pink. So you see the color, there's a chromatography, so the color shows. You have two lines. If you do the test and the C line is not showing, it means that the test kit is not good. There's a problem with it. The C line must always be there. If it's not there, this test kit is not valid, it's not good. So during the presentation, you saw them show that. So the C line must come. Now, if the C line is the only line there, you don't have a line at T. It means there is no antibody reaction because the T side is where the reaction will occur. So it means you don't have the chemicals that are your body produces to fight HIV in your body, and therefore no reaction will occur. So if you have only C there, you don't have HIV inside. But if you have the T line and the C line present, what he's saying is that the kit is good, and also that you have the antibodies inside that has come to cross with that place there. You have the two lines. That is why we say you are reactive. Now, when you are doing the test and you paste and all that, you know the paste we have are chemicals, and so those ones can interfere with the test, and so that is why you are asked not to do those things before. If you eat, the particles in your mouth can also even shake off the reactions. So these are the critical things that will make you not have a good result. And so once you open it, make sure your mouth is okay, and then you can go ahead and do that. Thank you very much.
Nana Chair, globally it is estimated that only about 70% of persons living with HIV are aware of their status. This has become a major hindrance in the global strategy toward ending AIDS by 2030. For example, in our country, Ghana, the Ghana AIDS Commission reports that there are more than 350,000 persons living with HIV. However, only about 71% of them are aware of their status. The remaining 29%, consequently, pose a major public health concern as they may unknowingly be spreading the virus. And despite the numerous global efforts and progress made in raising awareness and implementing preventive programs. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, to break the gap in the testing coverage among hard-to-reach populations, Ghana adopted HIV self-testing in its consolidated guidelines for HIV care. The HIV self-testing is one of the newest innovations in the range of strategies aimed at encouraging persons to know their status. Currently, HIV testing coverage 1,971,381 out of a target of 1,900,620 were tested for HIV in 2022, representing 104% target coverage, a marginal rise from the 103% achieved in 2021. This is the National AIDS Control Program 2022 report. The lack of knowledge hinders our ability to provide timely treatment, support and care to those who need it most. The availability of HIV testing kits addresses this critical gap in our healthcare system. Testing is the foundation upon which our entire response to HIV/AIDS is built. It is a gateway to prevention, treatment, care, and support services. When individuals know their status, they can make informed decisions about their health and make the necessary steps to protect themselves and their partners. Chair, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, permit me to express my heartfelt gratitude to the National Planning Committee, the Ghana Health Service, the National HIV and AIDS Control Program, the Ghana HIV and AIDS Network, the Ghana AIDS Commission, PEPFAR Ghana, the Global Fund, UNAIDS, and all of that dedicated development partners, institutions, and individuals who have worked tirelessly to make this initiative a reality, including myself. Your unwavering commitment to the well-being of our people is truly commendable. Today, as we launch the HIV self-testing kits, we must recommit ourselves to promoting the culture of compassion, understanding, and non-discrimination. As key stakeholders, we are obliged to foster an environment where individuals living with HIV and AIDS are embraced rather than stigmatized. It is through unity and solidarity that we will overcome this challenge. I therefore wish to encourage each one of you to fully support the development of the HIV self-testing case program countrywide. Let us seize this moment and make a lasting impact on the lives of our people. Together we can achieve our vision of a Ghana where every citizen can enjoy good health and well-being for national development. Chairman, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the government of my country, Ghana, and the entire sector players, permit me at this moment to officially launch the HIV testing kits program. Let me thank you all for your presence here today and for your dedication to the well-being of our nation. Let us stand united, shoulder to shoulder, and as we embark on this new chapter in the fight against HIV and AIDS. May the good Lord bless us all, and may God bless our country, Ghana.